Mandatory vasectomies for baby boys. Yeah, I said it. And if that made you flinch, good. You won't want to miss part 2 either. Trust me. You want to solve half of society's problems? Start there. Because here's the truth, men don't want to wear condoms. They don't want accountability. They want raw. And when the baby comes, they say, oh, it's not my problem, so fine. Mandatory vasectomies. Problem solved. Abortions, they would drop overnight. Date rape pregnancies, gone. Single motherhood, cut in half. Generational trauma, reduced. And crime? Crime would plummet. Because fatherless homes are the #1 pipeline to gangs, violence, and prison. Fix the fathers, fix the future. This one move would take women out of survival mode, kids out of poverty, and society out of chaos. And the only ones mad would be the ones that never wanted accountability in the first place. So yeah, call it savage. But if we snip the problem at the root, we'd finally see what society looks like when women aren't carrying it all. Don't scroll, catch part 2 because the return on investment would be mind-blowing.
Bro, this might be the dumbest shit I ever heard in my entire life. I ain't never heard no shit this fucking stupid, bro. Straight up, man. When you say shit like this, you gotta be careful because at the end of the day, if this does happen, what you think the next step gonna be? They gonna start getting little girls hysterectomies. You know what I'm saying? Then what's gonna happen after that? Civilization gonna die out, bro. Plain and simple. If you do the math on it, think about it. She ain't putting no number on it. So at the end of the day, let's just say hypothetically speaking, next year they start giving all the little boys vasectomies. And I do get it. Sometimes this can be reversed. Sometimes they have complications, whatever. Not the point. But at the end of the day, let's say they start doing that to little boys. Then what? How society gonna keep going on? You know what I'm saying? What all the women gonna do? Sleep with one man? Come on, man. Get realistic before you just talk stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, how the women gonna get pregnant then? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna even reproduce at that point? How we gonna have kids and babies and then what? Society gonna pretty much die out, bro. After so long or so many years of doing it, you know what I'm saying? It has no choice but to do that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it sounds like a situation where a woman was probably mad at her baby daddy or somebody she was dealing with on that level or whatever, and he had a kid behind. He split on her. At the end of the day, man, that's just how it is, man. Hey, you can't blame that on no just all men like that. At the end of the day, there's plenty dudes out here that's in their child's lives. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Taking care of their kids, live with them or whatever. Men ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, let's talk about the accountability thing. Far back as I can remember, bro, like men have always carried on the accountability role. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because they natural born leaders, and at the end of the day, it's a leader job to carry accountability regardless of what goes on. Because if things go wrong, then he gonna be responsible for that. At the end of the day, he gonna be the one accountable for that. It's gonna be his fault at the end of the day, and I don't know no other way for people to say that's not accountability. That's called accountability. Bosses, you know what I'm saying, husbands, whatever you want to call them, like every time they in this role, bro, it's always the man's fault. Like right now, bro, if you know what I'm saying, I got a wife and kids, and at the end of the day, we finna get evicted or whatever. People ain't gonna look at the woman. They ain't gonna look at her and say, man, I can't believe that woman letting them get evicted. They gonna look at that man. They gonna say, I can't believe he got there letting his family get put on the streets like that. Maybe he could have hustled harder. Maybe he could have did something different, studied, tried to invest in more things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All that shit fall back on the man. So at the end of the day, I don't know what she came up with that conclusion. And she talking about the second video. Let's try to watch that one and then see where she going with this, and then we'll come back to it, bro.
Let's talk return on investment, because mandatory vasectomies, the return on investment would be insane. If you saw part 1, you already know that society would transform. But if you didn't, pause right here and go watch that one first, because this is where it gets good. Fewer abortions, which mean lower healthcare costs. Fewer kids born into broken homes, which means less crime, less violence, and fewer prisons. That's billions saved every year. Billions. The foster care system would be less overloaded. Court systems cleared. Healthcare spending down. And even the economy grows because women are no longer shackled to survival. They're free to build careers, businesses, and futures. And children, they get a life of stability. They get safety. They get a chance at life without chaos. And that, my friend, is the real return on investment. Not just dollars, healthier families, safer streets, and stronger communities. And all because men finally had to prove that they were worthy of reproducing. So yeah, cry about it, kings, but the numbers don't lie. Vasectomy is the investment with the highest return on society we will ever see.
Some people just say anything, man. At the end of the day, bro, a lot of that stuff, like shit. At the end of the day, women are already capable of doing, bro. Like going to build businesses and build up your career. You already able to do that. This a free country. You got like people sitting back blocking women from being successful, man. At the end of the day, they already able to do that. And as far as you talking about safer streets, I know they don't like to give men credit when they talk about the streets being safe or whatever. But let's just put this shit in real terms, bro. In real life, at the end of the day, and I know a lot of people don't even want to respect it, but if men was as crazy as they say men is, women wouldn't even be able to walk the streets. Period. Only reason women able to walk around and do what they able to do and act the way they act is because men allow it. Other men gonna put other men in check. I don't care what it is. Right now, if I walked out that door and I see a man basically stumping a woman out, my instincts is to say something. Hey, bro, chill out. Ooh, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Something to him. It ain't gonna be. Look over there. He over there, borderline about to uh, hurt this woman, put this woman in the hospital or something like that. And I'm gonna walk off, man. I'm going on over here. Mind my own business. Come on, man. Men don't do that, man. Men always trying to put other men in check. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the respect level need to go up for men because at the end of the day, women really need to understand how much men contribute into society. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they act like men is just these evil, crazy, and deranged people that just walk on the earth and they scared of men walking around. That ain't how it is, bro. At the end of the day, if it was like that, like I said, everything would be going through the roof. Crime rate, like she talking about this gonna reduce crime. I would like to know how that's gonna reduce crime by you giving little boys vasectomies. How would that reduce crime? By them not producing, like women don't commit crimes? It's a whole bunch. They got women prisons too. See how like it's just they walking around America ain't got a number of prisons full of men. No, they got women prisons too, and they filled up too. At the end of the day, women just as crazy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that has nothing to do with the way somebody behave when they get older. As far as a vasectomy, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, of stopping this ain't the root of that, bro. This is how you raised. At the end of the day, that's where that crime come from. You could be raised in a poverty-stricken situation or whatever, probably solely by your mother. Because, like I said earlier, your father gonna put you in check, go one way or another. He gonna stop that bullshit before it even gets started. You know what I'm saying? If he a real man, anyways. But you know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it be that situation. The mother trying her best to raise their child and guide them in the right direction. And at the end of the day, it's hard raising a man when you're a woman. Because at the end of the day, men got an ego. And when they get to a certain level, they already think like they got that alpha in them. So at the end of the day, when you got that in them, can't nobody really tell you nothing like that for real. Because in your mind, you the one. You know what I'm saying? That's all part of being a leader. You know what I'm saying? And if women do believe this shit, keep believing it, bro. At the end of the day, I'm not the one here to sit here to argue with you and nothing like that. But like I said, just put it in real time, put it in real terms, and then you'll really understand how much men contribute to society. If you take away the men from this motherfucker for real, at the end of the day, because if they do something like what she talking about, at the end of the day, the reproduction rate gonna decline tremendously. At the end of the day, it's gonna decline. When I say it's gonna decline so fast, ain't nobody gonna be producing nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, then what are we living for? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I thought that's our whole sole reason for being on Earth. Don't get me wrong. All the rest of this shit is for you to enjoy life while you're here. The money, the cars, the clothes, the trips, the cities, the this and that. All that right there is to enjoy while you're here. But your main reason for being on this planet is to reproduce. Now here comes somebody with an ignorant mind that's gonna say we're gonna stop God's plan and stop making. We're gonna make it so little boys can't produce no more. Really? That's the best solution you came up with? At the end of the day, bro, like we ain't did everything for society. You know what I'm saying? You trying to act like men ain't the ones really around here doing pretty much, like I said, everything. Cause when your car need fixed, I'm guarantee you ain't called on your homegirl. Why you hate men so much? When your roof leaking, I guarantee you ain't called no women to come fix that leak on your roof. When you want your trees cut down, I guarantee there ain't a bunch of women out there cutting down the trees. Why you hate men so much? At the end of the day, no, hate the one that you was dealing with and leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? You can't categorize all men just like that. At the end of the day, same way we can't put all women in one category, we can't do that to men either, because at the end of the day, I'm an active father. Straight up. Love man to death. And it's a lot of other dudes out there the same way. They love theirs to death too. You know what I'm saying? As far as the broken home shit at the end of the day, it's a lot of women on the internet right now creating broken homes too. I see it all the time. With a good guy. I'm with a good guy. I got kids in there and leave. I'm emotionally unstable. That's why I left. They leaving their families for any goddamn thing. So they creating broken homes, just as many broken homes as the men's nowadays. You know what I'm saying? If it was like that back in the day, I do remember, you know what I'm saying, a lot of fathers was out of the household. But I think it was more so because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the black people was in poverty. Just all the way 100. A lot of them was in poverty, and they was living on government assistance, and the government didn't allow the women, if they had a kid, they didn't allow them to have no man at their house with them at the end of the day. What you think gonna happen? Of course it's gonna be destruction. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the father the one guide him in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? He the one tell you, no, don't do that right. We ain't finna go for that. We gonna operate in order. You know what I'm saying? And if they ain't got that level of discipline in their life, guess what? They run wild. And that's what you got right now. See, they did this early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, right? All that right now, all them kids grown now. And this is what you got. You got a product of the environment. At the end of the day, you remove the father, you remove the head of the snake. You know what I'm saying? You cut the head off that snake, what it's going to do? Eventually. It's over with, right? Same thing with a family, because you took the head out of it. What you think going to happen to the rest of the offspring? They lost. But anyways, man, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, bro.